dependent on Zai to kind of speed this up to unlock Fondir or maybe even Loliel.
With 4 backline diving heroes, I feel like this is basically the template for what you want in the expanding rivers. Let's see if they can maximize that to claim victory here in our very first game of week number 3, ladies and gentlemen. The Land of Dawn draws open once more for a clash between Todak and Aero Esports.
Let's jump right into it. Here we already see... Oh, wait, we see early invades. I don't see the Dream is not checking any of the buff.
What?
Doesn't want to put himself in a position they're going to forcefully take control over the mid lane and get Zyme Senpoi moving as fast as possible. I mean, it's okay for Dreams because he does still spot at least 3 people on top of getting his own individual amount of gold.
But I feel like he could have gotten a lot more. He doesn't even need to invade. Just walk up slightly, you would have seen 3 or 4 people on that buff and hit level 2 even sooner. So maybe a little wasted there, but it's fine for now. Todak should, on paper, be the team controlling most of these lanes. And oh, hold on, there's a bit of an interesting situation here. CC is in the gold lane versus Granger.
Yeah, I would have imagined that CC would have done better into the Esmeralda.
Yeah, I agree.
But I think it doesn't matter, right? Fondir playing this Ruby doesn't really change. He's going to lose a bit of life, but he's going to heal back up anyways. And I think that Smooth is playing the lane extremely well. He doesn't really care about whether he gets that push or not. He just cares whether or not Fondir is in a manageable amount of HP, because he's never. Both of these guys are basically never going to die. We do notice that Loliel's actually decided to take some hybrid defense here against Kusei on this Granger. Not sure whether that's going to make much of a difference here because he's more dependent on his sustain rather than raw armor.
I mean, I can respect the wanting to survive the poke against a Granger a little bit, but I do feel like as a CC, you should be fine. I personally do think it's a little bit of a waste, since doing the Ruby CC in the opposite lanes would have probably had much better side lane control for you, but eh.
Each their own, some may say, to each their own, and now we might just see first blood!
2-man knockout, Glorious Pathway comes out, Zai gonna get grabbed, first blood over to Zkeef already! And now Todak forced to back off Aero with full control over the turtle.
Really good engagement there, Zkeef instantly, as soon as he hit level 4, he was looking for angles to play around, and that's what you want to see from your supports these days, hitting level 4 on time without having to sacrifice any of the lanes to give you that extra bit of EXP to get you over the edge. It goes for Dreams, but again, level 4, a dangerous timing for Todak's side. Fortunately for Zai, he still has his ult up, but he hasn't found any opportunities to attack the side lanes.
Yeah, that was really unfortunate as well. I already went into this game saying Todak should have a bit more control early on paper since they have so many fighters to play with, but Zai did not respect the space, did not respect the level 4 timing on this Kalea. He is literally the last person that should get grabbed there.
As this game continues to progress, the laning stage seems to be pretty okay, right? Even Loliel's should be hitting level 5 in just a little bit. Kusei does have a bit of a lead on him. I'm assuming that Kusei was able to get a couple of the crabs. Actually, now that I think about it, he's a little leveled more than he probably should be. We'll see how Aero takes advantage of this, right? Because Fondir's taking so much damage.
Flicker in, Tsunami Slam, they want this Ruby, 3-man CC from Fondir into the I'm Offended. Brilliance comes out, Flicker from Fondir, staying under tower, still surrounded by 3 people. But there's that Ruby healing for you right there. It's gonna take a very long time. They'll eventually get the kill.
Nicely played. A good setup coming in from Smooth, especially trying to go for the early proxy to make sure that they can guarantee the timing of the dive. And then they played it slow, right? Zkeef did commit his ult, and at the same time, Kim was making sure that he doesn't get pulled in too often to make sure that Fondir maintains. Now, Loliel's trying to keep Kusei out of the lane. It's a good idea, but Zkeef's impact is so obvious, so clear, right? Every time he has ult, he's looking for a target.
The activeness of this Kalea doing a lot for Todak right now. Dream's gonna come on in, contest the buff against Hazel. Now Smooth goes for Falling Star Moon, lands on 2! It's a Tsunami Slam on Zion once again! He is bursted down! And there's nothing Todak can do about it. Another free turtle for Aero.
Good diversion here. Aero throwing up those smoke and mirrors. Oh, am I gonna Falling Star Moon on top of the Farson? No, he catches Zayed instead, and they will try to deny him his purple.
Looks like they'll successfully do so too. Todak This comp, it should work well on the river map, but they have zero control at all. Aero looking a lot better right now.
Say better, but I felt like Todak could have played the early game a little faster, right? I would have expected to see at least some ganks towards the side lanes early on, just to kind of skew it into one of the fighters' favors. Oh, all right.
Well, here's the gank. They get the stun on Zkeev. Gets caught with the curtain call. Loleo finds a kill.
Zkeev unable to flicker in time. Better yet, I don't think him dying is going to change too much. The kill ends up going to Loliel, sure, but he doesn't scale as hard. Worst yet, plenty of time. Kim with 3 assists. Wow! First item, 5 minutes, 30 seconds into the game. Fleeting time. Aero want to take up the clock.
I mean, why not? Zkeev has been setting these kills up so well the entire time. And even if he does die, it means wasting resources on him. I think this is actually a very good choice.
All right, let's see, because now I want to see when they want to eventually just chain ult, right? Zkeev could look to pick up Dreams, but he needs Kim to be at a certain threshold of items before they can even consider that option. Fondir already finishing off that War Axe. The first item power spikes are already starting to come through. I'm expecting to see Todak actually look to contest for this next neutral objective, but it's still 30 seconds left on the clock, right? Wait, where is Fondir? Oh, he's still upside alongside Zayed.
Oh, Zkeev gonna be able to find one. That's the horse right there. Dream is thrown into Aero, and that is a nightmare for Todak.
That's exactly what you want to see. Smooth even taking a bit of Zyme Senpou's life as well. They proxy one more wave to make sure they have a guaranteed setup for this turtle. And not to mention, they don't even have to take it at this point. They can just look for T1s and then invade.
It's like they'll be able to go for the tower. Perfect spacing too from Smooth and Kim to make sure they don't get CC'd by Fondir. Now Hazel on top of the third turtle of the game. Loleo walks into the wrong bush. He's just gone. Nothing you can do about that one.
This game is starting to look pretty over for Todak. This is going to be a difficult snowball to come back from, especially with the expanding rivers. Just look how quickly Zkeev is already in the next position, checking buffs and spots out where exactly Zayed is going to be. They could look to alter their rotations at this point now that bot side is already collapsed. We do see that, at least for Kusei, he's on that top side. But I would have expected both Kim alongside Hazel to invade on the orange side of Todak's map.
I feel like Todak are not really able to make the decisions necessary right now. We can see that their rotations also a little bit dependent on being together at this stage since they know they are behind. And Flicker, I'm offended, find 2! Hazel gonna get tied to Kim, Brilliance comes out, the rest of Aero comes to back them up. Right now, all 5 members still alive. Hazel gonna be able to dash away, Tsunami Slam onto the Hayabusa. Kim gets bursted down, but that's the only casualty so far. Smooth still holding out the front line.
Oh, he lands the falling star move, but Fondir, he's still alive, right? 2 people walk away, and we don't see enough happening. Aero, they initiate. Kim ends up losing his life for it, and Todak was able to muscle their way through.
But all things considered, the fact that only Kim ended up going down there is surprising to me. I thought that Todak for sure would have been able to find at least one more with that I'm offended. But we can see the goal difference starting to play a role here. Zayed at this stage still only on 1 item.
1 item. I mean, I think it's okay. Zayed, he's going to have a pretty tough time. He can't really initiate in a majority of these fights. Oh, another Tsunami Slam.
Speaking of initiation, Tsunami Slam with the feathered airstrike going to be used. Zyme Senpou, the instant target as Hazel dives the backline. Zkeev is low, flickers out of the way. Double kill for Hazel as the Phantom Execution finds its mark. Loleo gets a kill on Kim, but loses his own life in exchange. And Smooth chases Zayed down. Double kill for Kusei. Team wipe for Aero Esports.
Nicely played by Aero. And even Smooth making sure to guarantee to break the shieldings. Kusei, as long as he stays alive, that Sky Piercer is going to put that final nail in the coffin as soon as he reaches max stacks. Todak, I thought they could hold off for a little bit longer because the first item power spikes, but the fights don't last it long enough for them to get full value.
The fight here was completely scattered. Hazel and Smooth doing an excellent job of dismantling the backline. Unfortunately, Todak not enough damage to actually threaten arrows in exchange.
Now they're knocking on their doors, taking everything from their jungle, living rent-free in their minds. Zayed just does not have the economy to start taking out some big hitters. Damage dealt ranking Smooth currently on top with 34k.
Of that first pick, Esmeralda not affected him at all. Fortunately, the Ruby matchup maybe a little bit unwise on the side of Todak there, not giving them enough control over that early part of the map. Now Lord gonna be pushing in mid lane.
Brute Force Breastplate already purchased by Hazel. It's not going to get locked down as hard by Fondir. Extra tenacity is always great. Now, they're going to be looking for inhibitor turrets. And I think that Todak, the defense seems pretty good, but the range coming in from Aero is the big problem.
Better there, strike the siege, the defense. Zkeep jumps in once again, finds the heavy slam. Fondir gonna be the first target. Ruby bursted in an instant. Aero still alive. Curtain Call gonna Kai Zkeep into the tower. That means he unfortunately does lose his life. Lord goes down. Mid inhibitor gonna be traded as well. Currently 4 members alive on both teams. Aero not letting up the pressure.
Lolios decides to...
Okay, shadow kill onto the back. Kusei has to use the flicker just to make sure he doesn't get bursted down. Smooth with the falling star moon. Nearly picks up Zion. Hazel finishes the job. Unstoppable for the Aero Esports jungler. Todak gonna need to try their best to hold on a little bit longer.
Woof. Alright, so only one missing inhibitor. It's the mid inhibitor, and I think overall mid inhibitor is the least worthwhile one. At least I'll be able to defend it consistently because everything kind of goes through the mid. I'm surprised I did as much damage as he could, but even so, just not enough. He's way too far behind. 4 levels down in comparison to Hazel, who had a magnificent showing as soon as the minions spawned by the base. That's what some people call the infinite amount of dashes, and Hazel taking full advantage of it.
We talked about how quickly you can snowball on a map like this, and that's exactly what happened after that first kill on the Hayabusa. In the first turtle fight, things just went downhill. It's a 10,000 gold lead for Aero Esports. 12 minutes into the game, and the next Lord is coming up in 25 seconds. I really don't think Todak can contest.
No, I mean, look at the 5k, almost 5k difference between Hazel alongside Zayed, right? They ignore the EXP difference, the gold is just not in their favor. And then we look at Smooth, who again, very smartly decided after his first 2 items, has also incorporated some steel leggings, make sure that he's got halfway through a Dom Ice, even having a Giant's Belt on his side. He knows he doesn't need that 3rd item straight away. He can be cost efficient.
Todak just doesn't do enough damage to threaten him. Conceal comes in, but the Lord goes down at the perfect time. Tsunami Slam comes out. Predator Strike as well, trying to seize the backline. Kim, unfortunately, does end up being a victim as Smooth dives, gets the kill onto the far side. Ogi Shadow Kill doesn't do enough in the backline either. It's a double kill for Smooth. The Esmeralda, still completely healthy, still completely a threat to the side of Todak. Sees Zion, wants an eye. A mega kill snipe comes in from Kusei. And Todak, we are witnessing their death throes.
Yep. They can't even breathe right now. Smooth. He's finished his Brute Force Breastplate. He can chase down anybody from the side of Todak. Nobody's going to be able to slip away any longer. And this should be the end here. Checkmate angle achieved.
One more Tsunami Slam just for good measure at the very end. Immortality goes down on Dream. Zion Sandpoint comes back, instantly gets dived, instantly gets exploded by Smooth. Hazel will be picked up, but Lolil is defending the base all by his lonesome, and Aero Esports will take it.